Freddie Mercury was not born a superstar. He came into the world as Farrokh Bulsara on September 5, 1946, in Zanzibar, a small island in East Africa. His parents were Parsi, originally from India, and they raised him with discipline, faith, and a love for tradition. As a child, Freddie was shy but curious. He had a deep interest in art and music, and his teachers quickly noticed his unusual talent. At age 8, he was sent to boarding school in India. There he discovered Western rock music and began playing the piano. His classmates were stunned by how naturally music flowed from him. They gave him the nickname Freddie, not knowing it would later belong to a legend. When Freddie moved to England with his family in 1964, he carried nothing but big dreams and a deep love for music. London was alive with new sounds, the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, Jimi Hendrix. Freddie wanted to be part of it. He studied art and design, but his heart belonged to music. He joined local bands, slowly finding his stage presence. Friends noticed something unusual: his voice. Freddie's vocal range was incredible, shifting from soft whispers to thunderous high notes. He had power, emotion, and charisma in every word he sang. People didn't just hear him, they felt him. The turning point came when Freddie met Brian May and Roger Taylor, who had a band called Smile. Their singer left, and Freddie stepped in with confidence. Soon, John Deacon joined, and together they became Queen. Freddie pushed the band toward a unique style, mixing rock, opera, and theatrical performance. He wasn't satisfied with just being a singer. He wanted Queen to stand out in every way. From the band's name to their iconic logo, Freddie's artistic vision guided them. He once said, "I'm not going to be a star, I'm going to be a legend." In 1974, Queen released Killer Queen, and everything changed. The song shot up the charts and made Freddie Mercury a household name. Suddenly, he was not just a singer, he was the face of a new generation of rock stars. His stage presence was electric. With his dramatic outfits, wide movements, and fearless attitude, he took over every concert. Fans screamed, critics admired, and Queen was on its way to becoming one of the biggest bands in the world. Freddie was the driving force, the showman who turned music into pure theater. Then came the masterpiece, Bohemian Rhapsody. Written mostly by Freddie, the song broke every rule. It had no chorus, blended rock with opera, and lasted 6 minutes. Record companies thought it was too strange for radio. But Freddie fought for it, and when it was released in 1975, it became one of the greatest songs in history. Audiences were stunned. The music video, directed by Freddie's vision, became the first of its kind to shape MTV culture. Bohemian Rhapsody was proof that Freddie Mercury was not just a performer, he was a creative genius. By the late 1970s, Freddie Mercury had transformed into the ultimate rock icon. His image was bold, tight outfits, dramatic poses, and unmatched confidence. On stage, he wasn't just singing, he was commanding armies of fans. He connected with thousands of people at once, making every person feel like he was singing just for them. But behind the glamour, Freddie was a perfectionist. He rehearsed endlessly, planned every detail, and demanded the best from himself and his band. To him, the stage was not just a place, it was his kingdom. Freddie knew how to write songs that touched people's souls. We Will Rock You and We Are the Champions became anthems, sung in stadiums all over the world. These weren't just rock songs, they were declarations of unity, resilience, and triumph. Freddie loved hearing fans sing back to him, their voices filling the air like a giant choir. He thrived on that connection. He once said, "I always knew I was a star, but the rest of the world seemed to disagree. I proved them wrong." Behind the fame, Freddie's personal life was complex. He struggled with loneliness, relationships, and his own identity. Though surrounded by fame, he often felt isolated. He had long friendships, especially with Mary Austin, whom he called the love of his life, even after their romance ended. But as the 1980s went on, Freddie faced a new challenge, his health. He was diagnosed with HIV at a time when the disease carried heavy stigma. Instead of letting it define him, Freddie continued to create, to perform, and to inspire. One of Freddie Mercury's greatest moments came at Live Aid in 1985. On that summer day, Queen stepped onto the Wembley Stadium stage in front of 72,000 fans and millions watching worldwide. From the first note of Bohemian Rhapsody, Freddie owned the stage. He moved with confidence, hitting every note with power. When he led the crowd in a call and response vocal game, the stadium shook. Many believe it was the greatest live performance in rock history. For those 20 minutes, Freddie Mercury wasn't just a singer, he was a force of nature. By the early 1990s, Freddie's health was failing. Still, he kept recording, determined to leave behind music that would outlive him. Songs like "The Show Must Go On" carried deep meaning. It was his farewell disguised as strength. On November 24, 1991, Freddie Mercury passed away at the age of 45. The world mourned, but his voice never faded. His music still fills stadiums, his story still inspires, and his legend still grows. Freddie Mercury didn't just live a life, he built an empire of sound and memory. And as he once said, "I won't be a rock star, I will be a legend."